your work beat talent when talent ain't gonna work.
True.
And that's in anything, bro.
True.
That's entrepreneurship, sports, music, whatever. Look at the people that's at the top. They work ethic is bar none. The other stuff come with it.
All right, listen, if you are a coach consultant, I know something about you. The average is you make less than $5,000 a month, okay? And you never, ever get to $20,000 a month. I think the exact number is $4,524 a month. That's your average. But most coaches, consultants never get to the $20,000. But the number one reason is because you're having a hard time attracting clients. You need client attraction. Well, the good news is my friend, my coach, my mentor helped me make $35,000 in less than a week. And it was all the information from his paid ad playbook, Mr. Marquell Russell. He has the receipts to vouch, including myself, okay? Listen, he helps you attract clients. You need the paid ad playbook. If you want to get 50 to 100 new leads every single day, you're going to need the paid ad playbook. To this date, his clients have generated over $500 million in sales, $500 million. And he's giving you this paid ad playbook for free, absolutely free, 100% off, just for our Social Proof listeners. Listen, so if you are a coach, a consultant, a service provider, a course creator, and you want to get people to pay you $3,000 to $10,000 for your product or service, for your expertise, you need to go to socialproofgift.com. It's a gift for you. Socialproofgift.com or text proof to 904-447-5274. All right, let's get to the episode. All right, welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast, where we find dope people that did really, really dope stuff. And when you talk about something amazing, almost like innovative, my brother Jah comes to mind. What's happening?
What up, man?
Man.
Appreciate you having me.
I've seen you. I've seen your journey.
Yes, sir.
This isn't like an interview where I just met him like, oh, you're doing this dope. Oh, that's amazing. I've seen the grind.
Yes, sir.
When you started.
One of the first guys I talked to.
Bruh, I remember.
Yeah,
congratulations, man.
Appreciate you,
Congratulations on everything.
Yeah, appreciate
so
you.
I definitely want to get into like how you built it. But I guess introduce yourself and kind of tell them how you brought Rucker Park to Atlanta.
Yeah, man. It's funny you say that because I got to go away from that terminology. My New York folks, they ain't liking that.
They don't like it?
They don't, man. So
Hold on, why though?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think it's more like because we've expanded so quick. You know what I mean? Like we're getting ready. Technically, this is our 9th year, 8-year plan because we lost last summer because of COVID. But you know, New York is New York, and you know how it is, man. Like New York wants their own, and just like what I'm doing here in Atlanta. So like even when people interview me and like write up reports and features on us. I typically be like, yo, don't use the Rucker, you know. But
that was how you built it because we only had one visual.
That's it. And the crazy thing what people don't know is organically, Greg Maris, who rest in peace, is no longer with us, who started EBC, was a mentor of mine. So
EBC?
That's what Entertainers Basketball Classic. So that's what the Rucker that we know is. You don't really know the Rucker. Like,
Rucker's called EBC. Well, Rucker Park is the park.
It's the park. And the league is called EBC, Entertainers Basketball Classic. But Rucker Park, the original Rucker Park, my uncle actually started it. So like with Dr. J and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and yeah.
What?
So that's what I'm saying. 2 different generations of basketball. So when EBC came into the fold, that's the Jay-Z's, the Fat Joe, you know, the summer turn up, you know, but was actually a mentor of mine. And I talked to him probably every day for a year, bro. So I was working at the Atlanta Hawks, doing basketball development and coaching AAU at the time.
You were doing basketball development?
Yeah. So I used to work for the Hawks for 4.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by basketball development?
So we pretty much develop everything the Hawks do on the court and off the court in the community when it pertains to basketball. So developing the youth camps, how the players engage and interact with the community. And then we had like, you know, summer, you know, youth leagues and things that around the city, which is what you see them do a lot now. So anytime you see like the Hawks doing something big, it's their community development or their basketball development team.
Gotcha.
So a lot of people don't know how that all rolls. They just see the Atlanta Hawks. But so I did that for about 4.5 years, and I was coaching AAU basketball for the Nike Georgia Stars program. And I kept telling them, I'm like, I don't want to be a college coach. Originally when I came out of school, my goal was to be an agent.
Were you playing ball?
Yeah.
In high school?
High school, college, semi-pro.
It was nice? Oh,
Nice.
semi-pro?
Yeah. I mean, I had my shots, but I fell out of love with playing. I didn't want to work out no more. I had the money already. You know what I'm saying? I was a little successful kind of doing the marketing and different things that I was doing. With me and Just was killing, bro. We were doing numbers that indies right now couldn't imagine. So people don't even know that part about my life,
Just
bro.
who?
Just Nice.
Yeah.
So people don't even know that.
I forgot about Just
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because that was your artist.
Yeah. So
How's he doing?
he doing great, man. Doing great.
I ain't talked to Just in a minute. Oh, that's what's up. Okay,
Yeah, so people don't know that. So, at 14, 15 years old, growing up in New York, I love basketball and I love music. So I've always said either I'm gonna try to make it to the NBA or I'm gonna do this music thing. And a friend of mine at the time, people may not remember him, but his name was A+.
I remember A+.
He was signed
What was that song?
All I See.
All I See. Yeah.
So he was signed to Kedar Messenberg. And I just, like I said, I'm a hustler by nature, man. My mom told me at 7 to 8 years old that I never worked for nobody. So got my hands in the music, started doing marketing. So I used to do like the real street team guerrilla marketing for like Busta Rhymes and Fabulous and Wu-Tang Clan and Redman. And so I was a kid that was climbing up on the fences, putting the posters up and handing out the flyers on Jamaica Avenue. And it was just fun. And I would go recruit other dudes like, yo, bro, look, you get that new Fab mixtape. Come help me pass out these flyers. So I've always had an affinity for music, the music industry, music business. But basketball was my thing.
Right.
I knew that I wanted to try to make it to the NBA. So, I just put everything into that, bro. And my mom moved me south for high school. New York was getting crazy. Like 90, 96 to 99 in New York, people were dying. I mean, my friends, like middle school kids, dying left and right. My mom's like, yo, we out.
What part of New York are you from?
I'm originally from Long Island. My family's from Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Gotcha.
So yeah, man, it was crazy. So when I moved south, it changed my life, bro. I'll be honest with you. I still had the New York. Everybody called me New York because I played basketball.
They called me Jersey.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So yeah, man. So, moving to Atlanta and, getting a job working for the Hawks and then coaching basketball. But I knew I didn't want to be a college coach. It seemed like it was too cutthroat. And same thing with like a sports agent. Now it's a little, I'm not going to say it's not easier, but it's more out there, right? Like where like a Rich Paul or, some of these big agents that you want to live their lifestyle, right? Like you don't even really care. Like they got these different athletes, but they're on the forefront. Growing up you didn't even know. You had to like search online or find a sports directory to even find out who an agent was.
Yeah, I didn't know what an agent was until Jerry Maguire.
Exactly.
That was like the first exposure to an agent.
Yep. So yeah, man. So, I always had this vision really in my head that I would create a basketball tournament or league or something. Like I wrote it down.
Where was the money? Where did you think you were going to have where you was going to make money? How a league was going to make money?
I didn't even, honestly, man, I didn't even think about the money.
Yeah, because when you were telling me at first, I just didn't see, because I'm an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
He's like, yo, I'm about to start this basketball league. And I'm like, I just don't see the money.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, when I started it off, I never even thought about the money, man. I had, like I said, I worked extremely hard. I don't know if I can say this or not on the show, but my mom, as well as my mom being like I was going to be an entrepreneur, I was raised like a Black Jew. I was tight, bro. Like I'm tight with money. Like I don't need all that. Like I work like how Shorty was saying, she's kind of frivolous with, spending on shoes and I don't got to do it. I don't need to. I just bought this jewelry, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just because I wanted to celebrate myself. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you work hard, But yeah, bro, I didn't see money. I didn't see dollar signs. I just had a vision. I said, I see something missing in Atlanta when it comes to summertime. What I grew up off, I feel like if the city had a vibe like that, it'll be lit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't care about sponsors and a ticket at the door and none of that. It was like, yo, bro, put this league together, get some hoopers, do something big for the community.
And what were you doing for money at this time, though?
I was working. So I was working before I left my job. Yeah, I was working at the Hawks. Made a pretty good salary there, and I was doing like training and AAU coaching.
Gotcha.
You know, and then I still at the time I still had Just, right. So Just Nice was at the time probably one of the top indie artists in the country.
Mm-hmm.
We were booking shows left and right. He had his own. We built his Fresh brand. Mm-hmm. And we were doing college parties still, even though we wasn't in college.
Right.
So we was going back to South Carolina every weekend. And I mean, we were making about $20K for a Saturday.
Sheesh.
So you talking about young dudes. We still ain't really, I don't even think my son, my daughter was born, but I had my son in 2013. So from like 2011 to 2013, I was just mashing the gas, bro.
Yeah.
So I had enough money saved up. And when I first kicked off AEBL, man, I put all my money in it.
Yeah.
I had one sponsor.
And what's AEBL stand for?
Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League.
Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League. And
yep.
what was the Rucker?
EBC, Entertainers Basketball Classic.
So you pulled from it a little bit. Gotcha.
Exactly. I had to.
I
had to.
Okay.
Yeah, because for me, that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
That's what really set my tone and vision for how hype basketball can be outside of the NBA.
Give me the business model behind Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League.
Yeah, so AEBL for short, Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League is a nonprofit. We're 501c3. We are established. Yeah, we're a 365 serviceable agency where we basically produce live events. We do community organization support.
Yeah.
We also have like peer-to-peer programs where we go into the schools. And then we just recently launched our junior AEBL platform, which will be for kids age 5 to 16.
Gotcha.
So we, encompass outside of the sports events that you see. We do sneaker ball. We do, we have a high school all-star game. And like I said, we're merging into other entities that I've taken on my own. So this year we launched the HBCU Elite 100, which will rival the Nike 100 or the NBA.
What is the Nike 100?
So Nike 100 is where they basically select the top 100 kids throughout the country to come and showcase themselves in front of NBA and college scouts.
So what is your...
So HBCU is going to take those similar kids and put them in front of HBCU programs, because I'm going to disrupt the narrative that our kids only can go to PWIs. We're going to push the issue and force the hand of the culture, right, to make sure that these kids and these parents understand how important going to HBCUs are. Like, I kick myself every day that I didn't wind up signing with an HBCU. I had at least 6 HBCU schools, but growing up in New York, they don't teach you about HBCUs. Like, if you got a cousin, maybe somebody in the neighborhood, but our community doesn't truly know about HBCUs outside of Battle of the Bands, Step Green.
Right.
That's it. You don't really know what HBCUs can offer you.
Right. I'm still trying to see the business model, like where you see.
So now, to tap into what you're asking in the sense, the model of it is that we've built one of the largest live sporting and entertainment platforms in Atlanta, hands down. So now we've become so attractive from a consumer engagement standpoint that brands see what we built and they want to tap in.
What type of brands?
So every major brand in America, Delta, Pepsi, Nike. We just signed, this is kind of early, so you may get the exclusive, but we just signed a major deal with Adidas, that'll launch 2022.
Where my shoes at, bro?
We ain't get them yet, bro.
No, because I remember it was so ill. This one really made me think too, because I think Ash hit me and was like, yo, Jah is sending out Pumas to all the influencers.
Yep.
And I was like, ooh, I'm an influencer. This is dope. But they ain't never seen my shoes.
I got you.
Do you
I
have
got
a pair
you.
of 13
Just pull
somewhere?
up. I'll pull up. I got you. So yeah,
That's hell that you be connected with these, like, and then you distribute it like through your friends.
The culture.
Like,
in the community. That's what I'm about, man. I'm about the community, for the community. So
how that deal come about with Puma? First?
So I have been, people don't know this, so I'm spilling a lot on the show, right? So I've been what they call like a sniper in the marketing business for about 15 years. So basically, I do a lot of freelance work for major corporate brands, help them understand our culture, how to connect with the consumer, how to execute in our markets. That makes sense. But I've always been behind the scenes, so you don't know. So about 3 years ago, I started working with a good friend of mine in relationships and everything, man.
Yeah,
if you in this game and you trying to be anything, I don't care how successful you think you are, you have to have relationships. And if you say you're gonna do something, you gotta do it. And if you can't do it, you better let the person know, like, yo, I can't do that.
That's a fact.
You know, so I stand on that, man. And over the years, I've just been doing great work and really putting brands in the right positions and making sure that KPIs match up to what they want. And especially when it comes to our culture, I've been like the community director, bro. So a brand say, yo, I want to work with David Shands and Sleepers for Suckers. You hit Jah, I'm gonna make it happen. And I'm gonna make sure that it's a win-win on both sides. So, long story short, had some great relationships over at the Puma brand. They were, merging back into basketball, because people don't remember that Puma was in basketball. They had Vince Carter, Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. Vince Carter, one of his first shoes was Puma with the strap. Go check it, bro.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
But they never was in.
No, they weren't, because Puma was in basketball in the early days in the NBA. Walt Clyde Frazier, like Hall of Fame legends.
Gosh, okay.
Before Nike. You know what I mean? Like, Nike wasn't a thing yet. Nike didn't become a thing until Jordan.
Oh.
So Converse, Puma, I think Asics.
What was the other one? It's like the little, it was a V kind of on the shoe. You know what I'm talking about? Pony.
Yeah, Pony.
Yeah.
And Pony. So Pony and Puma were big at that time back in the day.
Yep.
But had some great relationships over at the brand. They were merging back into basketball, and they was like, yo, can you help us?
Okay.
And, for the first 2 years, I pretty much scaled what they need to do, how they need to connect with the right influencers and athletes, how they needed to go into markets and show up. And Atlanta is big for Puma. People don't like
really?
Puma. Yes.
I got two questions on it. One, what were they looking for? What was the indication that you were doing your job? What did they want to do? And the second question is, who did you connect with that was perfect and why? So first, what did they want?
They wanted to make sure that the right consumers had the basketball shoe in their hand. So influencers that love the game, that has social followings, and then on-court players who are elite, or at least at the caliber on social where they have influence enough where kids would be like, yo, that shoe is dope. Or, yo, I want to know what the new shoe is for Puma. So, I mean, you've had like people like 21 Savage, Devontae Hitchcock, who else? Now you got LaMelo Ball, so they were targeting that exact market.
Got you.
And I had it already. It was just a text,
because you're the basketball league. Yeah, for sure.
Text message away from me, you know? And then on the flip side of it, I think what we have built in the city is undeniable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And though I'm super humble about it, like, ain't nothing moving in this city without basketball and culture without me. Yeah. I don't care what level you on.
Right.
So brands see that and they want to tap into that. So I think they saw that leverage and they like, let's go with him.
Yeah.
Versus trying to disperse it around the whole city.
Got it. And so you're no longer working with Puma?
No, so I do still work with Puma. As of this year, after 2021, our contract will be up. And then we just signed our new deal with Adidas for AEBL.
Gotcha. And what does that look like?
So Adidas is going to be the official apparel and shoe partner for AEBL across all of our properties.
So they do all the jerseys,
shoes, apparel. We getting our own shoe. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting your own shoe. You can design it.
I didn't even make it to the NBA, bro, but I got my own shoe deal. You know? So
that's crazy.
That's what we own, bro.
How did you strike that deal though? And if you don't mind, what are some of the details of the deal?
Well, I can't spill that. I can give you I can't. Because it's still in some negotiations with some pieces. But I can give you.
Let me ask you this. Did Puma just do in-kind or they give you a bag?
No. Nobody, listen, bro. Them days is over, dog. They over. Nobody even called me. And first thing the people at Adidas said, yo, when we talked to everybody, it was like, just come with the bag. Because I worked too hard, bro. Man. 15 years. And I'll say this, and again, man, you know how I am, bro. Like I talk my talk, but I'm humble when it comes to what I've done for this city. Mm. But I feel like we live in that state now where like perception is reality. Yeah. If you don't tell people and show them, they don't see it, they don't respect it, they not gonna give you opportunities and they ain't gonna pay you your worth. You know, so for me, man, on the last 3 years, bro, look what AT&T brought AT&T to the city, did one of the biggest national campaigns Atlanta has ever seen.
Really?
You know, Atlanta Hawks, when you see a lot of those celebrities and rappers down on the court, that's coming from my line. You know what I mean? Developing, people don't know, for about 5-6 years, I was on the brand partnership team for A3C. You know, I've been a part of A3C when there was no sponsors. Yeah. You know, so I've been in this, man. I've been in the compass of every bucket in Atlanta, and I stay strong in the community. So that's why I can always duck off.
I know what you're thinking. How the heck do you make money from a podcast? Is David just doing this podcast because he likes it, or there's a heavily monetized strategy attached to it? Well, it's both. I really love talking and interviewing people and getting free game from really successful people. But also, this is a 7-figure podcast. I'm telling you right now, there's so much money in podcasting, and we're early in the space. I really feel like it's 2009, and I'm telling you to buy Bitcoin. I'm right now telling you to start podcasting because in 5-10 years, it's skyrocketing. Those are the names that are going to be the ones who have the voices in our world, the ones that start a podcast right now, okay? So I put together everything I know about podcasting in an easily digestible program, okay? So go to podcastersblueprint.com, and you know I got to give y'all some love, okay? Enter code SOCIALPROOF. I'm taking 20% off so you can get your voice heard, all right? So this podcast that you're loving and enjoying, there's other people that's going to love and enjoy yours too, okay? Podcastersblueprint.com. Let's get back to the episode.
But, you know, when you reach out and you tell me, yo, Jah, this is what I'm doing, I got an idea, I want brands and sponsors to come on, what I tell you, it's partnerships now. Yeah. Sponsorships don't exist no more. When somebody say sponsorships, it's like, bro, you're not getting no real money.
Right, but so partnerships come with a bag. But partnerships are typically based on performance.
Not necessarily, man. If you creatively build something that's undeniable and it has its own unique way to engage people and move consumers, you got it. You just got to figure out the brands that want to connect with those consumers.
Okay, so, let me give you this.
Okay.
So I got a podcast.
All right.
Right? And because you are the GOAT at like creating the bridge between like small business owner and big corporations. I have a podcast.
Yep. Super dope podcast at that.
Super dope podcast, man. What would I have to do? What would a company want from me to create a dope partnership where it's very beneficial for both of us?
I would tell you to start off, reverse that. What do you want? So you're not waiting on them to decide how to connect with you. You want to know how you want to connect with those brands and what you want from them. Right?
Okay. What would I have to be doing to cut $1 million deal with a big brand?
I would say first you need to identify what brand it is. Because not every brand is going to fit your podcast. Right. Every audience and consumer that you have may not fit that brand. So the first thing I would do is I would identify the brands that you feel passionate about first. Brands that you would support out front, right?
I'm gonna give you my list.
And go ahead.
Nike.
All right.
Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
Gucci. Hold me down. I would probably do something with New Era.
Okay.
Who else? I like these jeans that I'm wearing. They're
Okay.
what are they called? Purple brand or something,
Okay.
or something brand, something. Yeah. So I don't know. Here's the major thing is the $1 million. I want $1 million partnership.
Right.
But I'm trying to figure out how do I position myself. I don't even care who gives me the $1 million. Okay. I don't even eat McDonald's, but
Right.
if we're gonna do this $1 million,
But see, that's why
I'll sit with some fries, a shake.
So that's where I'm, as someone who's experienced and does this every day, I want to educate you as well as other influential people like yourself. You don't got to do that no more. You don't have to just work with anybody.
Okay.
You've built the platform and the leverage that you have that influences millions around the world, bro.
The fact.
So now you can strategize and decide, how do I want to work with McDonald's? Am I selling? Do I want that type of partnership? Because it's a marriage, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I say sponsorships are cool. They're needed. They happen. People get them all the time. But for me, once you elevate to a certain level, you want partnerships because it's a marriage. You're going to be in bed with these people for X amount of years, depending on what the agreement is. So you don't want a situation where, let's say right now, you like, yeah, McDonald's is cool, but then next year you and wifey like, yo, we on this healthy, that don't match up.
Yeah.
Your consumer, your audience is now like, hold up, Dave, you got this big arch right behind you. See what I'm saying?
Vegan, bro. What's up
right.
with you?
That's what I'm saying. So strategically,
hey, just know, I would put a Nike sign right. If McDonald's, if you're listening, this is all you right here. You feel me? It'll be the golden arches right here.
So, I feel like from the outside looking in, you already have the platform. You got the audience. Sure. Now it's just trying to engage with brands that you are passionate about that it doesn't necessarily feel like you're selling.
Adidas, 3 stripes. Jah, we can
Reed,
throw the stripe.
Leo,
we can throw the 3 stripes right here.
Let's do it.
All right, so how do I position myself to get ready to?
Yeah, so we slightly talked about this. You want to put together a partnership deck that pretty much overviews, everything about yourself. You're about, your audience, how you engage with people, what's your demo, where those places that you see the brand tying in, because they're gonna want to know what your vision is for them to be a part of it before they cut you a check.
For sure.
And then once that happens, then you come to somebody like me. We work together to put that in play, and then we do an outreach to all our relationships and basically showcase what you're doing, inviting them out so they can see in person. And I will tell people, I'll give up this gym. In a pandemic, I made $1 million just built off relationships without having any events, bro.
How?
because the relationships rely on you when they have no idea what to do.
So explain that.
So
what did you do?
Yeah, so during COVID, pretty much everything that was pivoting from a digital standpoint, everybody was going from physical activations to digital, right? I don't even do digital. That's not my thing. It hasn't been my thing. But I was already tied into everybody that was doing digital properties, creating new events online. And all I did was leverage my relationships, introduce them to all of my friends in the community. It was like, hey, you need to be doing this event. You need to be doing community. They do HBCU esports. You know, at the time, we had just kind of started figuring out where we're going to go back in person or not, but leveraging my relationships to my community.
Okay.
And I probably made more money than I did in the last 5 years in 1 year.
And who paid you? The person
brands.
who wanted the relationship or the person who's doing the event?
The brands.
The brands paid you to connect them with the other people that they're going to pay.
Correct.
So you'll get a bag if you...
On both sides.
Oh.
On both sides. So, and in most cases, like I try to explain to people, that's why I'd rather do business with my friends, because at the end of the day, now I can make sure the resources are in our community. It's not me just shining my Superman light that I got all this money. If Social Proof Podcast is winning, I'm going to make sure it's in front of the right people.
It's up.
You see what I'm saying?
It's all the way up.
And it's not me being like, yo, bro, for me to do this, you got to give me some money. Now we're going to go get the money together and break bread. And not only are we going to go get one brand, we're going to go get multiple brands. So then now I ain't got to worry about tapping your pockets. Because I know you need money. You need money to keep this thing building. You got to survive and you take care of your family.
I ain't got no money, baby.
You looking good to me, baby. So, I think the biggest thing that people got to figure out right now is understanding what makes them their properties and where they're trying to go unique and different. Because as you know, everybody's, like I see what you're doing with the podcast, you know, introducing people to the podcast world. But it's going to be a backlash from that with brands too, because everybody going to be doing podcasts and everybody think they podcast is the biggest. So what sets your podcast apart? And you got to hone in on that.
You know what I think? And Joe, you want some water?
No, I'm
water?
good.
You sure?
Yes.
We got sparkling water too.
I'm good.
Very fancy. Okay. But I think, especially in the podcasting space, I think every podcast is unique in the fact that the host is unique, right?
Correct.
So nobody can, even if there's a million other podcasts, nobody has kind of like the energy, the swag that I got. Not saying I got the best. It's just mine is different.
You got yours.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that brands will want to attach themselves to just my style of communication.
Right.
If their audience can resonate with that, right? So I'm saying if I put together my one sheet with all of the details of the podcast, all the stuff that's going on, my story, things of that nature, then I come to you and say, Jah, I'm trying to get sponsorship for my podcast. These are our numbers. This is what we're doing. This is the audience that I have. Because basically, your sale to the brands is based on my audience, yes?
Correct. Majority. And then also how I put an emphasis around on why they need you. You see what I'm saying? So I have to still do me, right?
It's a relationship.
I'm putting the sauce.
Trust you.
Exactly. I'm putting the sauce on top of what you've already created as ingredients. And they trust me. So they know that I'm not going to lead them to nothing that ain't going to make sense. So that's why I said there's difference of people who are marketers. I know a lot of dope people that got dope brands that they work with. I even know people who got agencies. But guess what? Those agencies still call me. You see what I'm saying? So you got it already, bro. I told you.
I need you. I've been trying to connect with you.
All you need. No.
Yes.
Now listen. So when Ashley started talking about you more, because you remember, I know you from Sleepers for Suckers.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, my guy in the mall, let me go holler at him. Then I go to the mall and he ain't there no more. I'm like, where the hell he at? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you got to think, the last time we connected, you had just told me about the podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had started seeing it more on IG, but I'm still like, all right, what's the spin or what's the narrative from Sleepers for Suckers? It's just like somebody coming to me like AEBL, but I'm doing business on something culture or lifestyle, right? So it's like they kind of, even now, people, in about 30 days, we launching a new agency. People like, but you AEBL, but yeah, AEBL is just a basketball league. Yeah. That's it. Like I've been doing this for a long time. Actually been doing the marketing longer.
Right, for sure.
So that's what I had to identify. And now that I get it, right, I see your numbers, I see the moves and the influence you're creating. And then your network now is even bigger, right? Because now you getting people that if I said to a brand like, yo, he's on his podcast, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes it ain't even you. It ain't even your, you know what I mean? Like, and you got to be willing to accept that. Sometimes it's not Shan's.
For sure.
It's who's sitting in the chair.
100%.
Or where you're doing it at, right? The brand may need you to do, go to Miami. You know what I mean? We need Miami. We need a bigger audience from a live digital standpoint in Miami. All right, cool. We got an event coming up in Miami.
Adidas could be right here. Exactly. They can make this play happen. Exactly. If they need people, do you hear this? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, between me and you, there's no cameras here, okay? Yeah. You got to connect with the Adidas people, right? What are you going to go back and tell them?
Well, one...
Especially, do we have to have a client agreement?
No. I feel like, for me, it's just introducing corporate brands to our culture, bro. That's it.
That's a fact.
That's the first thing. That's where it starts. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going to always win, bro, because I'm not afraid to shine light on somebody else. You know what I mean? So for me, I'll text her right now, like, yo, Ree, when you come to town, I want to introduce you to Shans. Check out what he's been doing. Send her, videos from your podcast on people I know she like or people I know she want to engage with as influencers. So, when you think about podcasting, I won't limit you to Atlanta, but we'll speak because they're going to look at the Atlanta market. Ain't nobody messing with him, right? And he got everybody you want, and he can get more people. You get what I'm saying? So then they gonna be like, all right, cool, that makes sense. So when we on the show, we gonna lace them out with all the dope Yeezys.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? All the dope Y3s.
I'm gonna tell him I'm only signing deal if I can meet you.
Yeah, you know. So he has at Mercedes-Benz, bro.
Yeah.
We can pull up right now and.
All right, so now you're talking. Can we really pull up on him?
Yeah, he's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, bro.
Have you linked up?
We working on something. Can't let the cat out the bag too quick. We working on something. Just come to ABL this weekend. That's all I'll say.
Is he gonna be there?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Ain't no ticket. It's free, baby. It's all free for the community.
Oh, that's wild. Okay. All right, so you gonna put in a word for me.
I got you. And I told you we gonna link on some bigger things too, because I believe, you know, your grind and what you've been doing, bro, it's impeccable to be able to start from Sleepers for Suckers being hand to hand and then getting a little shop in the mall to then now, you know what I mean? Like, we got to start bigging each other up and not being afraid to, like I said, to shed light on each other, bro. Because our social capital is at trillions of dollars. Yeah. Who getting it? You see what I'm saying? It's a small group of people who've put themselves in positions and they're not willing to share the wealth.
So they're gatekeepers in this?
I mean, is there really gatekeepers now? I think they're hoarders. I wouldn't say gatekeepers because they don't have power no more.
Yeah.
They just hoarding every dollar that they can get because instead of them putting people on and helping the community where they can go back to and then plant that seed and then see it grow and then build from it, they've kept all the money they life and always kept every relationship to themselves. Yeah. And guess what? Now they shit ain't hot no more. Yeah. Then what? You know what I'm saying? So they're hoarders in my opinion. People that do that hoard relationships, they hoard money. And everybody's day is going to come at some, you know what I mean? Like one day you're going to be like, yo, this podcast shit ain't cool. Let me give it to somebody else. Or you got a youngin' coming up like, yo, you take it over. I'm going over to do X, Y, and Z. But guess what? Those relationships from the podcast going to move with you to whatever the next thing is. Because guess what? They rock with Dave. They don't care what you're doing. You can be low key, bro. I'm telling you. One of my biggest relationships to the day, one of my mentors, my OGs, I met him working at Enterprise, bro. Working at Enterprise. And we get bags together all the time.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? There's never a time his company or brand is doing something in this city that he don't call me, whether it's to get the bag or connect them or direct them who they should be working with. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, bro, we in a different state. All that stuff that was going on through COVID, all the killings, all the social injustice, are we gonna keep talking? Or we gonna make stuff happen?
Do you see what's happening with corporate sponsorship dollars going to podcasting? Are you seeing any of that?
I haven't, because like I said, a couple of people who have reached out to me about it, brands were already there. You know what I mean? So it was like, how do you mesh like a cigar brand with Pepsi that don't fit? Right. Cigar brand and a spirit brand, let's look at that. Yeah. So I just haven't, be honest, when it was brought to me early, maybe like February, March, right? We just was rolling into COVID and everybody started shifting. Yeah. I just didn't really have the mindset or the thought process to say, let me evaluate and scale how brands can be a part of, you know, podcasts, you know? But if you look at like...
A lot of corporations are taking a lot of marketing dollars away from radio.
Yeah.
And putting it in the podcast.
For sure. For sure. So it's just figuring it out and figuring out where to scale those brands.
Yeah.
You know?
I ask like personal questions. What's the most that you've, in your 10-year, and you don't have to tell me who it was, but the biggest sponsorship deal that you've gotten? For what you've built.
For what I've built, my properties, probably like $300K.
Dang.
Yeah.
You probably didn't have to do a whole lot of work for it. Because the work is building. But I'm saying the work is building the audience.
Yeah. But see, that's another little gem that I'll share about me. Is like, whether you give me 1,000 or you give me 1 million, I'm gonna still do the work. I'm gonna still make sure it's grand. You're gonna feel like you spent a bunch of money. And
what did you have to do for that particular sponsorship?
For that particular one, it was just, like I said, elevating the brand, making sure their strategy was intact so that way they can move the way they wanted to, and then make sure that they met all their KPIs, bro.
So more of a
I was consulting for them, you know? So it was like...
And IP is priceless.
Yeah, that's it. And most importantly, in that, right, like with these brand deals, you don't want it to be a one-off. So that's why sometimes those 50s and 25s don't make sense, right? Because it's like, you do the 50, 25, you get the quick money. Bro, you got bills, you got overhead. It's probably going to cost you to do whatever you're doing. Now you back to 11K.
Right.
And you feeling worthless. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn, bro, all I made was 11K off of 75.
Right.
But what about if you had one of those situations where you marriage with the brand, and now you on retainer? And anytime you call them, it's like, what you need?
Yeah.
Oh, you need 20? Oh, you need 15? Right? People ain't smart enough to think about it, bro. I'm still running it up. They just didn't give me 75 at once.
Right.
I just looked at my invoice. My invoice at 225 right now. But if I would have, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, because that's why I'm telling you, it's partnerships. A partnership, you can do that with your wife, right? Like y'all are in a partnership. You might need some bread for her today. She might hit you triple 3 months from now, right? She might go buy you them J's you want. She might go to StockX and spend the $1,500 when they was really only $120 in the store. That's how you got to look at these partnerships, bro.
I got to ask this question. I asked this to Jessica. Shouts out to real BB Judy. She's brilliant. All right, look, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I got to tell you, finally, you asked for it, and we created a Patreon, okay? We created an inner circle. We have amazing stories, amazing information, how-tos from the episodes. The only thing we're missing is a community. So it's about that time. We put together a Patreon, we put together a community because we have to have conversation around the information. So even this podcast we're listening to right now, there needs to be conversation. I want to hear what you got. Like, let's throw some stuff back and forth. And because we're like-minded, we're all going in the same direction. When we connect in a community, we can connect on other stuff outside the community because we're building real relationships, okay? So check out the Patreon. We got 3 tiers. I don't care what tier you join. The support is appreciated, okay? Thank you so much. Now back to the episode. It's 3 things I think you need to be successful, and I think you'll agree, but I want to know which one you feel is most important. Work ethic, ability to perform, or network. If you had to pick, like your relationships, the third one, if you had to pick between these 3, what would you say is most important? Your ability to perform, your talent, your work ethic, or your network? Your work ethic. Work ethic? She said the same thing. For sure. I don't necessarily agree. And want me to tell you why? At least in my presence of how I see things, because you can learn as you're going, right? So that's your ability, right? So if I work hard and I might be struggling a little bit with something, I can, if I'm smart enough, I know where to tap into those people because people respect my work ethic, so they're going to rock with me. They may tell me a couple of gems or show me the way because they like, yo, he's not going to drop the ball. Right. His work ethic is impeccable. It's a fact. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So your work ethic, it's almost like your work beat talent when talent ain't going to work. True. And that's in anything, bro. True. That's entrepreneurship, sports, music, whatever. Look at the people that's at the top. Their work ethic is bar none. The other stuff come with it. The celebrity, all that, all the fancy, all the endorsements, that come after they put in the work. You know what I mean? And then I would say, if somebody would say the ability, and it can skew a little bit because some people rely solely on their network that they don't work. But those are those people that their careers end pretty quick. Because your level and the power of your network changes. Yeah. My network now ain't what it used to be 5 years ago. My network was local 5 years ago. Right. You get what I'm saying? Any city I pull up in right now, I can walk in any corporate company in America and they know who I am. They know what I do. And if they don't, I can pick up the phone and call somebody and be like, yo, bro, I need to get in Apple. I need to go to Nike in Portland, Adidas in Portland. My people gonna make calls because all they gonna say, look at his work. Look at his work. Okay.
You can't deny work,
I feel
bro.
that.
You can't deny it.
For sure.
No, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. I tell this next generation, put the work first. Don't worry about social media. Don't worry about your followers. Don't worry about how much money you got. Don't worry about you don't look like Lil Baby. Put the work in. All of that'll come.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. And then I would say the network would be next and ability would be last because your ability is all in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Right? Because you may feel like, yo, I'm the dopest podcaster and look at my production set up on my butt, right? Mm-hmm. And then somebody else might be like, bro, I don't even do all that.
Yeah.
I don't do all that. The work be done already before I get there.
That's a fact. You married?
You know? I am.
Is your wife an entrepreneur?
No, she's a nurse.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's a little weird,
tough.
but yeah,
my wife,
very tough.
Same thing.
Very tough.
Same thing. 'Cause my wife still does. She does like insurance.
Okay.
Right?
You about to get in trouble, bro.
I promise you. I know she does something with insurance. But I'm like, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah. Nah, but it is, man. It is. It's actually the biggest, and I will honestly say this, it's the biggest battle in life for me. Because we're on two opposite ends of the world. Nothing meshes outside of like our family and marriage. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have the same friends.
Yeah.
She don't like the same things I like. You know what I mean? It's like, and because I grew up and my mom was a hustler,
right?
You know, it's and people say, oh, well, you gotta grow and mature. Nah, bro, like that's a part of your DNA when you grow up. Like what you see is typically what you conform in, right? Good and bad.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
like I got a lot of bad shit with me that I'm still working on.
Give me the edited version.
You know what I'm saying? You know, but I think that, you know, the piece is still figuring out how to grow together.
I'll be trying to sound so like at least like look you in the eye when you're telling me about what your manager did and what they did and did happen. And I'm like, oh, word. And in my head, I'm like, hey, I got work to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I could be telling her all about entrepreneurship stuff. And she like, bro, you don't do nothing. I'm like, I don't think she thinks I do nothing, bro.
For sure. I think, again, I was on that journey the first 4 or 5 years of building AEBL.
Yeah. How long you been married?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Oh, so I know that was a period right there, bro. I can relate.
And I just had a new baby and I'm about to launch a new business.
Oh, so how old's your baby?
4 months.
Oh, I'm 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months in.
So, hey, we about to go through the roller coaster again.
Oh, brother.
You know, but
I think one of the things is it's all about consideration.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm always launching something new. I'm actually building a podcasting studio and all that.
Okay.
But my thing has been, I'm cramming everything I do in the first part of the day so that I'm home by 6.
Okay.
So just like a job, like a 9 to 5 or whatever, I try to cram all of my stuff in at 5 o'clock so I can be home and at the crib by 6. I get my baby, we chilling. And since I started giving my family enough respect to say, yo, you got to call me tomorrow.
Right.
Things have gotten a lot better.
That's good. That's good. And I mean, that's quick. Because you and your wife been married how long?
4 years.
4 years?
Leave me alone, Joe. What's up with you?
That's good, bro. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I tell all my guys, all of us do different stuff, but all entrepreneurs busy doing. I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
I'm still searching for it, bro.
Yo, try this though. Make there a cutoff. Here's what's crazy.
How though? I ask every person that say how. When at 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock our time, it's 3 o'clock LA time, and you got a conference call with Adidas on a Wednesday.
Here's what I understand. People will work around your schedule if you have a schedule.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
So what I'm saying is, you tell them, yo, can we do 2 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do 3. Let's do 2 o'clock. A lot of time, once you've purpose in your heart to do it, people, and you're important. It's not like they can just find another job that's available at 3 o'clock. You say 2 o'clock.
Right.
I can do 2. But whatever is important to you,
Right.
That's where you're going to put the time in. And I'm not saying yours has to be
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But
I just use that time because you said the time. Right.
It's all about the effort. Even if my joy was like, yo, I'm shutting it down 7:30 at night, she's going to appreciate the effort.
Right.
Because she knows how important this thing is to me.
Right.
And no matter how much, like when the phone rings, you're like, ooh, this is a call. It's, yo, hit me in the morning.
Right.
What I found is they'll just hit you in the morning. And then you get the best of both worlds. But it's so easy to be consumed in working 11, 12 calls, texts, especially you up. And I'm sure it's not just men calling your phone.
Yeah.
So wifey's on the other end like, who that?
Right.
Even though I know that ain't, I know it's business, but still it's who that though?
Yeah.
So.
No.
It's a journey, bro.
Yeah. It's a marathon, bro.
It's easier me saying this to you than actually doing it, but I've been getting a lot better at it. And it's been showing up in a relationship.
That's good to know. It's good to know.
Yeah, man. Ambition is something, and it's almost like you never, once you have the ambition, you never...
You can't level set to... I
don't care what you accomplish. It's not. It's some more stuff. Yeah.
The next thing. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I mean, I've been ABL 9, been in and out of different partnerships and agencies. So the vision is similar to what you're talking about. Hire the right people, bring the right, and just be the brains. I just can't do that.
You can.
I gotta touch and feel what I'm building.
Yeah.
I can't even actually tell you.
But only because you've been touching and feeling for so long.
Yeah, but some people, I won't disagree with that it couldn't change, but like some people, like I watch obviously virtually, right? Like how some people maneuver their businesses. And I've experienced like watching like the Diddy's camps and different things like that move. But if you notice, like when Bad Boy Sean Combs, Diddy is at the height, is when he's involved full throttle.
Yeah.
Not that his people ain't good. They're great at what they do. But it's like an innate ability like a person has to like put a certain type of touch on something. And you never want to, I tell Ashley that all the time. I'm like, right now, you don't need to hire a bunch of people. You need to know every single aspect of your business, how it works, how it's not working, how to fix it before you can even hire somebody to do that. You get what I'm saying? So as I'm starting this new business, this isn't the fly-by-night business. To create an agency and a multi-million-dollar agency, you got to be in the trenches. 100%. It's going to take a little bit of... So that's why I said to you, like, for me, I'm still trying to figure out at year 7, like, we've had... COVID was the greatest year ever.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we had extra time, we chill, make up conversations that we, you know what I mean? Like, normally stuff we don't talk about. So that was good, but it also showed me that we can mesh the way we are too.
Yeah.
We just have to find those wins where we can, take trips and make time for each other. The local time is tough. Just because of her work schedule, we got a new baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think everybody, because I'm like you just said, I just learned a little bit from you. My guy, like last week, told me, like, bro, you just gotta, you know what I mean? Just let her have it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So,
and one thing I found too is if we look at like all the things that we do throughout a day, not all of it is necessary.
True.
Like there's always a few things.
Like 3 hours of Instagram that don't even gotta happen.
It don't even gotta happen. We put the work stuff in that time and then we take the rest.
You gotta scramble for the other 3 that you done gave up on Instagram. Nah, for sure.
Yeah,
but
man.
And I'm a night owl, so that's kind of worked in favor of us in our situation as well, because I would say I'm more like 8. I can cut. Usually I'm running my son around. My son plays 3 different sports at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So
how many kids you got?
3.
Gotcha.
Yep, 19, 8, and 4 months.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, man, usually I'm ripping and running with him, but I usually start back working at like 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's when all the creativity is rolling.
Yeah.
All the genius is happening at that time.
Yeah, man. Listen, with the sleep is for suckers, that was my philosophy. Like, just living at night. But then I realized I realized that I like pressing the button because I've been pressing the button. But if I can find somebody and teach them how to press the button the way I like it, I get addicted to that.
Yeah.
Like, cause I know, oh, you do, okay, you doing good. Okay, I ain't gotta worry about pressing that button no more.
But that's why I said, like, that's the part of this generation, because I have mentees that I feel like could be dope.
Yeah.
But they're so fast tracked. Like they don't, it's 0 to 100. It ain't like 1, 2, 3, 10, 20. No, they like, I'm in, I get to meet all these people. I want to start my business tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, we ain't even started working what you was supposed to be here for.
Yes,
that's why I'm like, yo, that is hard. And you know, again, I'm seeing my peers do the same thing. Starting to get people your same age that are panning out of different career fields or looking for their new, way to celebrate their life, which may be more freedom. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of people got laid off from jobs that they were committed to, lifers.
For sure.
You get what I mean? Bro, Shans, I can't meet you tonight for dinner because I got to work.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't take this trip. Or I can't go to my kid's game. They were lifers, bro.
Yeah.
With somebody, I mean, dog, I got some people that you could, like if I had on, bro, if I came in with Pumas on, nah, dog, let me go in the closet, get you Nikes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that they got let go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And now they're trying to find their way. So for me, you take that hunger and that experience and put them in the driver's seats of what you're trying to do. These youngins, man, though we got to have them around. They're the new innovatives. They know what's next. They not ready. And I want to say not all of them. There's a large amount that are not ready to take those opportunities that we didn't get. I would die to get an internship at Nike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Adidas, any brand, Carl Canard, anybody.
Sure.
Growing up, shit, I'll pass out flyers all day just to get a Def Jam shirt.
You know what I realized in that it's not them, it's my inability to get them to focus. So what I started doing is over the last couple of years, I've been really studying leadership.
Okay.
Because I realized I can have people and lose them, have them, fumble them. And I would blame it on them.
Right.
Like, yo, they just didn't believe in a vision, they selfish or whatever. But I wanted to start working on my ability to communicate my idea. And now it's just a transfer of energy. I need to transfer a vision from me to you and then fit you in this vision. And then we're routing all of that ambitious energy into one lane that happens to be us going the same direction. That's dope. That's been my journey lately.
No, that's a gem right there, bro.
Because
that's what it
like
is. It's a communication for me.
Yeah.
You know, I keep everything bottled up in here, and then by the time I'm able to disperse it out, we write up on it, and I'm expecting them to execute how I would last minute.
Yeah.
You know, so and this year showed that. You know, even more, bringing some new people into the fold that are really dope, you know?
Entrepreneurship is a journey, man. Well, look, Jah, man, I appreciate you coming through, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Are we going to have Adidas?
We going to work on it, bro. We going to get... we going to get to work on it.
We all see me in the tracksuits every episode. You know it has something to do with this man right here. But let me pay some bills real quick, and I'm going to have you close this out with a word of wisdom.
Okay.
All right, so... this episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. Jah, I don't know if you know, I'm sure you've seen The Morning Meetup, but it's a community of entrepreneurs that gather every single morning. It's literally like 450 people on a call every morning, Monday through Friday from across the country. I'm talking about, it starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's mad people in California that they're on it at 5 a.m.
Wow.
Every day. So we have a theme for the month where this month we're talking about thinking big. So each call throughout the month supports the theme of the whole month. So we're just getting people out of their head and stop thinking so small about stuff and expanding their vision. So they can go to themorningmeetup.com and enroll. I give them $1 trial, $79 a month. If they don't like it, they can leave. If they want to, they can stay. But it's the most amazing community. And we have a book club. Okay. How often do you read?
Every so often.
I read 0 books last year.
Okay.
None. Even we're in the house, for COVID, no books. This year we read 10.
Wow.
because we take a chapter every day and we read a chapter, and the next day we talk about the chapter that we read the previous day. And then we're going to read a chapter tonight, and then tomorrow talk about it. So we're getting through chapter by chapter. It's amazing, man. So go to themorningmeetup.com. Also, the podcast wait list, the Launch Your Podcast Challenge has started. So there'll be a link somewhere where you can start your podcast. Okay, Jah, thank you so much, my brother.
No doubt.
For pulling up on us. This was absolutely amazing, absolutely insightful.
It's overdue, man. Overdue.
Way overdue. It was right on time.
Yeah.
Bro. It was right, because we wouldn't have had conversations that we have now. You on a whole nother level. So if we did it a year ago, it'd have been good.
Yeah.
But you're a year smarter, you're brighter.
Yeah, for sure.
We lit, man. So I guess let everybody know how they can find you, man, and close out with a word of wisdom.
Yep. Jah Rawlings, Jah the CEO on Instagram, Twitter. I don't know if you folks still use Facebook, but Jah Rawlings on Facebook. Words of wisdom, I stand on this, bet on yourself at all costs. And nothing can stop you. That's the motto I live by. If you always bet on yourself, you can't lose.
That's a fact. You can't close it out no better than that, man. Do yourself a favor. 1, go follow Jah. 2, go get you some social proof, okay? Meaning go build something. But I need you to go on every podcast, every interview, every blog, and I need you to go on Instagram Live, go on Clubhouse, and start teaching people how you built what you built, because that is the only way our community grows. All right? We are out of here. Peace. What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week, and I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com, because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book every single chapter, every single day? We're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all of this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? Themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.